our next speaker is Gabby Dizon. His name self-explains, but he's the co-founder of YGG to talk about what exciting new stuff YGG is building on ERC 6551.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Gabby Dizon, co-founder of YGG. So it's really nice to see a lot of friends here. I first learned about NFTs or ERC 721 through Benny and CryptoKitties back in 2017. So I was a game developer and trying to look at what technology was coming next. I ended up looking at crypto and Ethereum because of smart contracts. And while I was researching smart contracts, CryptoKitties came out in November 2017, and I learned about the non-fungible token. So I said at that time, like, this is really going to change gaming. And yeah, so far we're kind of getting on the way there. It hasn't really done that yet, but yeah, I'm really excited to hear about ERC 6551 again via Benny, and it's nice to see all of the projects by our friends at Spacebar, the research by YGG, and I wanted to prepare just a few slides about what we're doing within YGG in the 6551 realm. All right, so YGG is best known for creating the concept of a Web3 guild. And within Web3 guilds, there are basically communities of people who are playing different games. We started with games like Axie Infinity, but now we've partnered with over 50 game projects for people who are looking to play these games and basically earn their own assets, right? Whether it's tokens or NFTs, or most recently reputation via soulbound tokens. So we've been doing a lot of that in the last 3 years. And just through the work that we've been doing, we've realized that there is one thing missing in crypto that doesn't really exist yet. There's no real way to create your list of like, who are the people in my guild. So there's no on-chain group primitive. So yeah, so you have on-chain identity primitive, which is ENS. You can have people who basically have the same PFP contract, like Azukis or Punks or whatever. But I didn't have any way to say that these are the addresses that are part of my group or part of my guild. So that's what we're doing, introducing guild runes. So last March, we released a redesigned logo for YGG. And underneath that logo is actually a rune system for people to be able to create their on-chain group identities. So yeah, we think about this as the first on-chain group list primitive. It's basically an NFT with a list of addresses that represent the people that belong to that group or that guild. If you know about YGG, we call it a guild of guilds. So if you look at the banners over here, we have banners for YGG Ventures, YGG Philippines. We have the Elite Esports team, and then we'll have banners for SkyGG, for example, and then the other guilds. But what an on-chain group primitive is, it's basically an NFT with a list of addresses that contains basically your group list for people in your guild. All right. Yeah, so it's a vision for on-chain groups, and then, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so there's visual identity. People can create their own runes. So we've created like design system where people can create their own unique identity. And the way that we're encouraging it now is that there are a lot of quests that people can do within different Web3 games within YGG. And a lot of these quests have been around like individual participation. But now we're seeing a lot of sub-guilds form around YGG to just help each other play the game, earn rewards, and now we're encouraging to do this within groups, basically. So these groups have already existed within YGG. You're probably part of different groups yourself. So now there's a way to formally put these groups on-chain and identify the members of this group. And the really cool thing about this is that it really fits very well with ERC 6551 or token-bound accounts. Okay, so if you look at the rune utility, first we'll mint master rune. So this is basically the master NFT, and it's minted on ETH mainnet. And then you have member runes. So member runes are the people who are members. So it gets minted out to the addresses that are members of that guild. So if I created a YGG rune and then put in my own address, I will get a member rune, and I can get to choose on what EVM. We're starting with EVM, so what chain to build it on. So it could be on Polygon, could be on Arbitrum, OP, Base, etc. Yeah, so if you see, it fits really neatly with the concept of token-bound accounts, right? The composable nature of this means that, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that can happen. So there may be guilds that are across like a specific chain. You may have guilds that are identified cross-chain. Because it's a token-bound account, the master NFT itself has a wallet. So now I can go questing as a guild. I earn the rewards on my guild wallet, and then I can do localized governance on how to distribute the rewards within my guild members. So yeah, that doesn't exist yet, and we think it's super cool because 6551 is kind of on-chain primitive. These guild runes can be used in a composable way. No matter how you want to use them, you can use them in your own DAO. You can have a game that basically recognizes the guilds, and then you'll basically have guild support in your game. And then you can integrate it with things like Lens, with messaging, chat protocols, so that you can do basically a guild-based chat. Okay, so quick update of where we are. So this is still heavily under development. We've already minted the first master rune deployed to ETH mainnet. So that's the YGG core rune. When we do that, you basically burn a little bit of YGG token. So that's how the token utility is tied to. And then yeah, we have a dashboard MVP for member list. We're starting to mint the member runes, and then we're creating our first on-chain group. So first, we'll be doing that ourselves, and then for the kind of sub-guilds and communities within YGG. But this is really a composable primitive that is on-chain. So we really want to encourage anyone who has the concept of having their own on-chain list to use this. So yeah, and we'll be announcing this. So this is actually kind of very early sneak peek because it's still heavily under development. But we'll be announcing this to the world in full in November. So last thing is that we do have an event in Manila in November. It's the YGG Web3 Game Summit. The core conference is November 21st and 22nd, which is right after G-Star in Busan, in case you're going there. And then we'll have an Expo and tournament. There's a lot of native like Web3 guilds in Manila, and that's the special thing about it. You have a lot of regular gamers who are going there, who are knowledgeable about crypto, who own NFTs, who have wallets. So especially if you're building anything in the realm of NFT games, I'd like to invite you to check it out. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you. Questions? Yeah.
Thank you for the lecture. So did I understand the concept right? You're providing like tooling for these guilds to for governance and just administration on chain, so they don't need to do it themselves.
Yeah, so it's basically just an on-chain NFT with a list of addresses, and that addresses are like the members of that guild that the NFT represents.
So, and these guilds, they still need to have like some kind of master, so one wallet that, or NFT that
yeah. We'll probably start it that the master rune is minted by like one address, but what will probably happen is that there may be a multi-sig link to a master rune, for example, so that you can have to run like proper governance on it.
Thank you.
One more question? All right. Here, we have one more question.
People are telling me that Web3 games are booming. So how do you address it? So while I hear like a lot of people from Web2 or traditional gamers are not going to Web3 because the current games don't work. It's too complicated. So what have you guys been doing to address all these issues?
Yeah, so I've heard that a lot of times as well, and I think if you look at the typical high-quality game, the development time can be around 2 to 3 years. So a lot of the next wave of Web3 games were started around 2021, like during the last bull run when people saw the rise of Axie and saw that there's actually a business model in Web3 games. So there's a lot of really good content coming in between like end of this year to next year. Parallel is actually the first of them that we're really excited about. So I like that the game is completely free to play. Then you can use the NFTs if you want to earn tokens. And it's a really fun game. So I'm not too worried about that because a lot of really good games are coming. Okay, thank you very much.